So one of the big things about doing Hardrock was that this was the race my good friend Bill Dooper always wanted to see me do. And Bill Dooper, for those who don't know, was an older gentleman who lived in Leadville. He maybe did a few races, but he wasn't really like a big, racer. He was mostly just like this wonderful, amazing fan of the sport. For years, I had been pretty distracted by doing UTMB and trying to win that race, and decided I was going to do Hardrock largely because Bill wanted to see me do it. I ended up getting injured that year and didn't do it. So when I finally got in again, I really wanted to do it in honor of Bill and actually carry him with me by taking a card that I had gotten at his memorial service with his picture on it. And I wanted to carry that with me during the race. That was in 2024 that I planned to do that. But then my appendix, I had to get it removed, and I didn't race that year. So when I came back in 2025, there was maybe even a little more motivation to finally take Bill out on a lap through the San Juans. Race morning, I got up and got ready, and one of the most important things I did was I grabbed that card that I had been keeping in my little bus all year, the bus that I lived and trained out of for so many years and so many miles and so many sessions, and took Bill out for a lap of the San Juans. It was really special to be able to do that, whether the race went well or not. It was going to be special just to get Bill around the mountain. As I left town, I felt good. I made my way up and over Little Giant and down into Cunningham at Aid 1. The race was going well. I was just a few seconds behind Mathieu Blanchard, the Frenchman. I was sitting in second place. I had noticed a little bit of cramping in my calves, or more of a threatening of cramping on the way to Cunningham. So I remember yelling to my crew just to put some extra electrolytes in the bags of electrolytes that they'd be giving me. And yeah, it was a super quick exchange. I got my stuff and left and started the next climb. I moved pretty well. I remember feeling like my body was kind of still a little asleep, not quite in its rhythm. But as I got up and over that next climb, I started to groove in a bit. I remember catching up to Mathieu and passing him, and then I remember basically just running with him and Ludo for quite a while. Ludo got a bit ahead, Mathieu did too, but I regrouped with Mathieu on the approach to the base of Handies, and then on the way up Handies, Germain called the two of us, and the three of us kind of made our way to the summit and then descended with Mathieu. Germain hung back a little bit, but the two of us, we kind of started to race a bit there. Whether or not that was a good idea, I don't know, but I was having fun. I met Bill and I became friends with him. He became a big fan of mine, and he always wanted to see me do Hardrock. And unfortunately, Bill passed away before he got to see me do Hardrock. This is the year we finally get to take Bill for a lap around the San Juans. I would love to do that for Bill. I remember getting down to Animas Forks and saying to my crew that I was good on calories, but I was behind on water, which, was a bit concerning. It's great to be getting all the calories in, but especially at high altitude, falling behind on water is not good. I had fallen back a bit and I couldn't really see Germain or Mathieu very well. But I kept running. I wasn't really feeling the greatest, but I found a bit of a rhythm going down Bear Creek. It's a really fun, pretty flowy section. It actually has some pretty decent exposure, high consequence. The trail is not so technical, but that is the section of the race where like one bad step can send you like several 100-foot drop towards the river. So you do have to just make sure you don't make any mistakes in that section. And fortunately, I was able to do that. I got down into Ouray just a little bit behind Latu and Germain. And I remember there I saw my crew. I was still in pretty good shape. And I remember asking where Ludo was and thinking that the gap was closable. And so I left that aid station not feeling great, but hungry and ready to try to hunt some people down. I left going up Camp Bird Road at what felt like a pretty good, strong clip. And I was really just trying to reel some guys back. Unfortunately, as I went, my energy and my pep started to fade. And I really kind of started to feel a bit defeated. I was not feeling as good as I wanted to. The guys weren't really coming back to me, and that felt mentally challenging. And then I remember getting to the aid station partway up Camp Bird Road and leaving and just trying to make myself throw up. My stomach was not feeling great. But that was the moment where I was like, something's wrong with my stomach. It's not working properly. And that's probably why I'm feeling so crummy and not racing so well. And I continued on, but I was pretty mentally defeated. I remember I got to the top. I got to the Kroger's Canteen aid station at the top of Virginia's Pass, and I was just kind of down on myself, telling the aid station like, oh, my stomach went, and like it's just like not going well. They fed me some pierogies. I headed down to Telluride. And yeah, it wasn't great, but I got into Telluride. Found out that I wasn't really all that far behind the guys in front of me, and so that, I think, boosted me a little bit. At this point, most people in the race ahead of me probably had pacers with them. I had decided to go without a pacer for the race, so when I got to Telluride, I left into the night, into the dark, without a pacer. To be honest, it wasn't really, I don't know that I really thought too much of it. I've never raced with a pacer before. I've done 100-milers before, and I always go it alone. So really, I was just in the same situation I normally am. I had some caffeine in Telluride, so I remember leaving and being kind of like frustrated with the struggles I was having, but also having a boost of energy. And so I started making my way out of Telluride and was actually moving like really well. And again, I was trying to catch the guys in front of me. But I made it a ways, and then again, my energy started to fade. I hadn't caught anyone. But in the midst of that low point, there was never really like a question of getting to the finish line. And maybe part of that was kind of the mentality I had in that, like, this was a lap for Bill. I had Bill with me in my pocket on his card, and the whole goal, although there were competitive goals, one of the main goals was to get Bill around the mountain, to give him his tour of the San Juans. I'm gonna get there. It's just gonna take a while. Bill always he was, I guess, a bit of an old school guy, and he always had these business cards he would hand out to people. That was his business card. And I'm not even sure what all was on there. I think like his name, his phone number. I'm not sure if there was much else. Maybe it said like ultimate fan or something on it. but it always had a picture of Island Lake from the San Juans. So Island Lake makes me think of Bill, and I remember looking out towards Island Lake and thinking of Bill in the midst of this miserable low moment, and then making my way down towards the next aid station. As I'm leaving, there's 2 lights coming in to the aid station. Katie, she was right on my heels on the ridge at the top, and I remember getting all the way to the river right before Silverton, and I couldn't see Katie behind me, so it seemed like I had a little bit of a gap. No sooner I get out of the river, cross the road, I'm climbing up the little tiny climb after the road crossing, and I remember looking back over my shoulder, and Katie's right there. She's like 50 feet behind me. Somehow I hung on, hit the downhill into Silverton, and just let her fly and made it to the finish line. And above all, I made it to the finish with Bill. I had his card with me. I got it out. Brian Powell, my good friend, was there. And Brian is the keeper of Bill's Green Bay Packers hat that he used to wear. And Brian gave me his hat, and I wore Bill's hat at the finish line. And yeah, it was just a special moment to remember my friend Bill, and to finally complete the lap of the San Juans for him and in his honor. And of course, looking ahead, will I ever return to Hardrock? I hope so. It's a hard race to get into, and you're never guaranteed to get in unless you win the year before. And even then, no start line is a guarantee in life. But I hope to make it back to the start line of Hardrock one day. I would love to take Bill with me again, and I'd love to get Bill around the loop of the San Juans in the fastest time on that day. I would love to get a win for Bill. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but it's a special race and a special place, and I'd love to do that. I think Bill would have loved to see me win the race, and I would love to try again.
Brandon, it's Bill. I'm not going to Paula back tomorrow. Will you let Zach know, please? Thank you.